I pushed open the front door with a smile, holding the warm takeout bag in my hand. "Lena," I called out, trying to sound casual, like nothing in my life was about to fall apart. I stepped deeper into the apartment, but before I could take another breath, I heard her voice coming from the bedroom, soft, sharp, and full of something I had never heard from her before. "He doesn't deserve me," she whispered. My whole body froze. I didn't move, didn't even breathe. I thought maybe I heard wrong, but she said it again, clearer this time, like she wanted the universe to record it. "He's holding me back." My heart cracked so hard I felt it in my teeth. I stood there silently. I wanted to drop the food. I wanted to run. Instead, I forced myself to act normal. I stepped into the hallway and said, "Hey, I'm home." The sound of the call cutting off was like a gunshot. She came out, phone in hand, eyes wide like she got caught. "You're early," she said. "I brought dinner," I murmured. My voice didn't sound like mine. She crossed her arms. "Why are you looking at me like that?" "I heard you talking," I said. "Who doesn't deserve you?" She didn't even blink. "You. Obviously." My chest tightened. "Lena, what does that mean?" "It means exactly what it sounds like," she snapped. "You're too small-minded, too slow with life, too boring." "Boring?" I whispered. "Yes, boring. And safe. And predictable. And I'm tired of it." I tried to smile, but it fell apart halfway. "I thought we were okay." "We're not," she said. "You don't understand me. You never did." "That's not true. Talk to me, Lena. Tell me what's going on." She shook her head. "Why? So you can apologize again? So you can promise to do better? I'm tired of waiting for you to catch up with me." I swallowed hard. "Is someone else telling you this?" Her eyes darted away for a second. "No. This is my decision." "Who were you talking to?" "No one you need to worry about," she replied, cold and calm. "Stop acting like this is a shock. You must have known something was wrong." "I thought we were going through a rough patch," I said. "I didn't think you hated me." "I don't hate you," she said. "I just outgrew you." Those words hit harder than anything she said before. "So that's it. Maybe it's time you accept that you're not enough for me anymore." I felt the takeout bag slipping from my hand. "Not enough. Ethan," she sighed like I was a chore. "I need someone who pushes me, not someone who slows me down." "I never slowed you down," I said. "I supported you." "You supported me by staying out of my way," she said. "That's not the same." I stepped back, trying to breathe. "Lena, why are you talking like this? What changed?" She looked at me with an expression I couldn't read, cold, distant, done. "I changed." I felt the last piece of hope leave my body. "Do you still love me?" She didn't answer. That silence said everything. "I don't know what to say," I whispered. "You don't have to say anything," she said. "Just accept it." I stared at her for a long moment. "Do you want me to leave?" "No," she said. "Not yet. I just want space." "Space from your husband," I said quietly. "Stop twisting my words," she snapped. "You're doing that thing again where you make everything dramatic." I almost laughed. "Me? Dramatic?" She rolled her eyes. "I'm done talking." I stepped back, feeling like I was dissolving. "Okay," I whispered. I'll give you space." She walked past me and shut herself in the bedroom. The door clicked, and the sound echoed through every part of me. I stood alone in the silent apartment. My phone buzzed. It was Noah. "Yo, man, you good?" I typed back, "Yeah, I'm fine." But I wasn't. Not even close. I sank onto the couch, staring at the dark window, feeling something inside me break open, spilling doubt, fear, and a painful truth. I tried to talk to Lena the next morning, hoping something had softened, but she walked past me without a glance. "Can we talk for a minute?" I asked. She opened the fridge like I wasn't there. "Lena, please." She finally turned and said, "I'm late." I stepped closer. "Is everything okay?" She sighed. "Stop asking me that. You're being too controlling." Her tone cut deeper than she knew. That night she came home after midnight. I sat on the couch waiting. "Where were you?" I asked gently. She dropped her bag. "Out." I kept my voice calm. "Out where?" She glared. "Why do you care?" My stomach twisted. "Because you're my wife." She scoffed. "That doesn't mean you get to interrogate me." I whispered. "I'm not interrogating you." She muttered. "Feels like you are." The distance between us grew like a wall. Every question I asked became a problem. "Did you eat?" Earned. "Stop hovering." "Are you tired?" Earned. "Stop acting like my dad." One evening I said, "I miss how we used to talk." She replied, Not everything needs to be a conversation. I felt myself shrinking. I asked, "Did I do something wrong?" She said, "You're still doing it. Just stop talking." One Saturday, she left early without saying where she was going. When she came home late, I tried again. "Lena, I'm worried." She rolled her eyes. "That's the problem. You worry too much." I took a slow breath. "Can you just tell me what's going on?" She hesitated, then said, "Nothing you need to know." That sentence hit like a warning. Something inside me whispered that I was losing her completely. Days passed with her glued to her phone, smiling at messages she quickly hid. I asked, "Who are you texting?" She snapped, "A friend." I asked, "Why hide it then?" She shot back, "Because you'll make it a drama." I felt my chest tighten. "Can I see?" She laughed harshly. "No, Ethan. You don't own me." Her laughter made my hands cold. Something wasn't right. I felt it everywhere. The truth hit me in the most painful way. She went to shower, leaving her phone buzzing on the bed. I shouldn't have looked, but the screen lit up with a name I didn't recognize, Marcus. The preview read, "Miss you already. Can't wait to see you again." My heart pounded. Another message popped up. "You deserve better than him. I'll make you feel alive." My hands started shaking as I unlocked her phone. There were weeks of messages. Sweet words. Secret plans. Late-night calls. Pictures. Him calling her baby. Her calling him my escape. I felt my throat close. "No, no," I whispered. My eyes burned reading. "Don't worry about him. He's not on your level." Another said, "You're wasted in that house." My stomach twisted, so hard I nearly dropped the phone. The truth wasn't a guess anymore. It was right there, glowing in my hands. When she stepped out of the bathroom, I held the phone toward her. "Who is Marcus?" She froze. "Give me that." I said, "No. Talk to me." She wrapped a towel tighter around herself. "You had no right." My voice cracked. "Then tell me why he's calling you baby." She sighed like she was tired. "Because he actually sees me." I felt something collapse inside. "Lena, you're cheating on me?" She didn't deny it. Instead, she said, "He treats me better than you ever did." My chest felt like it was caving in. "How? How does he treat you better?" She looked away. "He pushes me. He believes in me. He makes me feel alive." I swallowed hard. "And I don't." She whispered, "You hold me back." I stepped back, dizzy. "After everything, that's what you think." She said, "Yes, Ethan. That's what I've always thought." I sank onto the edge of the bed. "Why didn't you tell me?" She shrugged. "You wouldn't understand." I whispered, "I would have tried." She replied, "And that's the problem. Trying isn't enough." I stared at her, unable to breathe. "Are you leaving me?" She said calmly, "Not yet. But I will." I felt tears burning, but I kept my voice steady. "I still love you." She whispered, "I don't think that matters anymore." I stood in the doorway watching Lena shove clothes into her suitcase without a single glance at me. "Can we talk before you go?" I asked, hoping she might stop. She didn't. She just said, "There's nothing left to talk about." I swallowed hard. "Lena, please. I need to understand." She zipped the suitcase and said, "You already know. Marcus gives me what you never could." I stepped closer and whispered, "What does he have that I don't?" She didn't hesitate. "Money, confidence, ambition." Each word felt like a punch. "So I never mattered?" I asked. She shrugged like my pain was boring. "You mattered in the beginning. Then you stopped growing." I shook my head. "I tried my best." She replied, "Your best wasn't enough for me. I need someone on my level, Ethan." I grabbed the edge of her suitcase, desperate. "Can you just slow down and talk to me like we used to?" She pulled it away. "We don't talk. You talk, and I listen to excuses." I felt my voice breaking. "I can change." She rolled her eyes. "You always say that. Marcus doesn't need to change. He already lives the life I want." I whispered, "So that's all I was? A mistake." She didn't even look guilty. "Stop acting like I ruined your life. You ruined it by staying small." I felt air leave my lungs. "I loved you." She shrugged. "Love doesn't pay bills or build dreams." I stepped back. "So you're really leaving?" She nodded. "Marcus is picking me up." My voice cracked. "You told him you're married?" She scoffed. "He doesn't care. And honestly, neither do I anymore." I reached for her arm. "Lena, please don't do this." She pulled away sharply. "Don't make this harder. I'm done pretending." I whispered, "Pretending about what?" She sighed. "Pretending we still had something. Pretending you had potential." pretending I didn't want more. I felt my knees weaken. I can be better. She shook her head. You're always trying to catch up, Ethan. I'm tired of waiting for you to grow. I leaned against the wall, trying not to fall. Did you ever love me, or was I just comfortable? She looked annoyed. Why do you always dig for emotional answers? Not everything has to be dramatic. I whispered, this is our marriage. She replied, exactly. A marriage that stopped feeling like one. I shook my head. Tell me what I did wrong. She said, you didn't grow with me. Marcus did. When the doorbell rang, my stomach dropped. She said, that's him. I whispered, you really called him here? She rolled her luggage forward. He's helping me move. I stepped between her and the door. Please, Lena, don't walk out like this. She crossed her arms. Move. I shook my head. Just give me 5 minutes. She snapped. For what? Another promise you won't keep? Move, Ethan. Her voice made my legs shake. I stepped aside slowly, feeling my chest collapse. When she opened the door, I saw Marcus standing there, tall and confident, smirking like he already won. Ready? He asked. She nodded without hesitation. I whispered, Lena. She didn't turn. She just walked past me. Marcus gave me a smug nod. Take care, man. I couldn't speak. I watched her disappear down the stairs like my life was being carried away. I dropped to the floor the moment the door shut. I covered my face and whispered, why wasn't I enough? My phone buzzed, but I ignored it until it rang again. It was Noah. Dude, what's going on? He asked. I choked out. She left. He said, I'm coming. Minutes later, he burst in with my brother Ryan behind him. Ryan knelt beside me. Get up, man. Please. I couldn't move. I stared at the floor while Noah shook my shoulder. Ethan, talk to us, he said. Ryan added, she isn't worth dying over. I whispered, it feels like something inside me ripped apart. Noah sat beside me. You're not alone. I shook my head slowly. She chose him because I wasn't enough. Ryan gripped my arm. We're here. We're not letting you fall apart alone. I felt them there still. I woke up the next morning feeling like my chest was crushed. Noah called, Ryan texted, but I ignored everything. I sat on the couch staring at the door Lena walked out of. When Noah came by and asked, have you eaten anything? I muttered, I'm not hungry. He frowned. You look dead, man. I whispered, maybe that's easier. He said, don't talk like that. I turned away and stayed silent. Days blurred together as I lay there without moving much. Ryan visited and asked, you working today? I shook my head. I can't. He sat beside me. Ethan, you need to get up. I whispered, why? For what? He sighed. For yourself. I said, I don't even know who that is anymore. He put a hand on my shoulder. You'll find him. I whispered. She took everything. At work I barely functioned. My boss, Mr. Owen, called me into his office. Ethan, this isn't like you, he said gently. I stared at the floor. I'm trying. He asked, is something going on? My throat tightened. My wife left. He paused. I'm sorry. Do you want time off? I shook my head. I don't want anything. He said, then talk to someone. I'm assigning you to Dr. Quinn. Mandatory. I whispered, okay. When I met Dr. Harper Quinn, she smiled warmly. Ethan, tell me what's happening. I stared at my hands and said, she left because I wasn't enough. She leaned forward. Who told you that? I swallowed. She did. Harper asked, do you believe it? I whispered, I don't know. She said, pain makes us believe lies. I felt my eyes burn. What if it wasn't a lie? She replied, then why does it hurt so much? She asked, how long have you been carrying this weight? I shrugged. Maybe years. She nodded slowly. It sounds like you lived in denial to protect yourself. I muttered. I thought she'd come back. Harper said, hope isn't always healing. I clenched my fists. I replay everything. Every fight. Every word. She asked, what do you see? I whispered, me trying. Her leaving anyway. Harper said softly, that isn't failure. One evening Mrs. Doyle knocked on my door. Ethan, open up, dear, she called. I dragged myself to the door. She held a tray of food. You look like a ghost, she said. I tried to smile. I'm fine. She shook her head. No, you're not. Take this. I said, you don't have to. She cut me off. I know, but I'm doing it anyway. I whispered, thank you. She sighed. Eat something, child. I sat at the table staring at the food. Ryan called and asked, did you eat? I answered, I'm trying. He said, Trying isn't good enough anymore. You need to live. I closed my eyes. I don't know how. He said, start with one bite. I picked up the fork slowly. I don't taste anything. He replied, it'll come back. I whispered, I wish she did too. Ryan paused. She doesn't deserve that. During my next session, Harper asked, what hurts most? I said, that she walked away like I meant nothing. She nodded. Rejection shakes our identity. I looked down. Maybe I should have seen it coming. Harper said, pain blinds us. I whispered, was I really that easy to replace? She said, you weren't replaced. She chose escape over honesty. I clenched my jaw. It still feels like my fault. She replied, it isn't. Later that week, Noah visited again. Talk to me, he said. I shook my head. There's nothing left to say. He sat next to me. You're shutting everyone out. I muttered, talking doesn't fix anything. He replied, neither does drowning in silence. I looked at him. I don't know how to stop hurting. Noah whispered, then let us hurt with you. I closed my eyes. I'm scared I'll never feel normal again. That night, lying in bed, I whispered to the empty darkness, did I ever matter to you, Lena? No one answered. My chest ached as I replayed her last words again and again. I remembered how she looked at me like I was a stranger. How she walked away without hesitation. I whispered, why wasn't I enough? Silence swallowed everything. I felt tears slip down my face. I didn't wipe them. I groaned as Ryan pushed me toward the front door. Come on, man. Fresh air will do you good. I muttered, I don't feel like it. He gave me that look. Don't make me drag you. I let him pull me outside. The cold hit my face, and I realized how long I'd been cooped up. It's okay out here, I whispered. Ryan smiled. See? Small steps. I forced a smile. Noah called the next day. We hitting the gym or what? I said, I'm rusty. He laughed. Better rusty than broken. At first, lifting the weights hurt more than I expected. My arms shook, my lungs burned. You okay? Noah asked. I grunted, I'll survive. He smiled. That's the spirit. I felt something stir inside me. Pain was still there, but so was a spark I hadn't felt in months. Later, Dr. Quinn asked, how did it feel? I shrugged. Strange, empowering? She nodded. Exercise helps with more than muscles. It teaches control, discipline, patience. I frowned. I feel like I lost all of that. She leaned forward. You didn't. You just forgot it existed. I whispered. Feels like I've been sleeping for years. She smiled. Wake up, Ethan. You're ready. I started small. Morning runs. Reading again. Eating properly. Noah teased me when he saw me with a book. Look at you, Mr. Intellectual. I smiled faintly. Better than eating my feelings. Ryan added, and less expensive than therapy. I laughed, really laughed for the first time in weeks. It felt alien but good. A small weight lifted off my chest. I whispered, maybe I can do this. One afternoon, Maya came by my desk. Hey, I noticed something. I looked up, wary. Notice what? She smiled. You're different. Calmer. Stronger. Clearer. My throat tightened. Thanks. She tilted her head. I just wanted to say it. I felt warmth in my chest. It's appreciated. She nodded. Keep it up. You're turning things around. I whispered. I hope so. I really hope so. At night, I caught myself not waiting by the phone. No messages from Lena. No sudden heart flutters hoping she'd call. It felt weird, like a part of me had gone dormant and now was waking. I whispered to myself, I'm okay. A small smile came. I realized I hadn't blamed myself for every mistake recently. For the first time, I thought maybe I deserved better love. Dr. Quinn asked me to write a letter to myself. I laughed at the exercise but did it. Dear me, I read aloud. You survived what you thought would kill you. You're stronger than you realize. I paused. You're allowed to be happy again. My hands shook slightly. It's not weakness to move forward. I folded the letter, feeling lighter. She nodded. Exactly. You're waking up. Ryan stopped by later. Hey, how's the new routine? I said, better than expected. He grinned. I knew you had it in you. I whispered, thanks for pushing me. He smirked. Don't get sentimental now. I laughed, and for a moment, the past felt distant. Pain lingered, yes, but it wasn't controlling me anymore. I whispered, I'm alive again. Noah and I went for coffee. Feels good to laugh, huh? I nodded. I forgot how it felt. He leaned back. That's the point. You're reclaiming your life. I looked outside at the city, feeling something I hadn't in months. Hope. I might even meet someone new someday, I said. He smirked. Careful, man. Don't scare her off. I laughed. Maybe I deserve it this time. That night, I lay in bed thinking. Lena was gone. Marcus was irrelevant. I had my friends, my routine, my choices. I whispered, I'm not broken. Not anymore. I felt the pain, yes, but it was a companion, not a master. Slowly, I realized I wasn't just surviving, I was transforming. I whispered, maybe I deserve better. Maybe I will find it. I sat in my usual cafe, coffee steaming between my hands, when a group at the next table started whispering. Did you see what Marcus did to her yesterday? One woman asked. I froze. What do you mean? Another replied. He yelled at Lena in the park. People are saying he's controlling, jealous, aggressive. I clenched my cup, pretending to sip. Inside, a storm brewed, but my face stayed calm. I don't care, I whispered. A man chimed in. They moved in together last month, and it's all falling apart already. I turned slightly, pretending not to listen. He laughed. Marcus is taking her money. She's letting him. And everyone says he lies constantly. I stared at my cup. My fingers trembled slightly. Bit by bit, she's losing herself, the woman whispered. I whispered. Finally, reality catching up. No one noticed me. I kept my voice low. And cheating, the first woman said. He's been seen with other women. Lena has no idea. I took a slow breath. Karma, I muttered. I didn't smile. I didn't laugh. But the word hit me like a warm current through my chest. I realized I didn't have to do anything. I didn't need revenge. Life was unfolding its own justice. The group kept talking. She's always been too soft, one man said. He's taking advantage. It won't last. I whispered. She's seeing now what I saw all along. My coffee had gone cold, but I didn't care. And she still loves him, someone asked. Hard to say, another replied. But she's trapped in his lies and charm. People say she's miserable. I leaned back in my chair. Months had passed, and I was different now. I had rebuilt myself. I had healed. And yet, hearing this, a pang of satisfaction snuck in. Not because I wanted her to suffer, but because truth was unfolding naturally. No one can hide reality forever, I whispered to myself. My heart felt lighter than it had in years. The storm inside me had calmed. The woman added, I heard he hit her car last week. Jealous rage, they say. She was crying in front of everyone. I whispered, finally. A part of me wanted to run outside and shout, see? This is what I tried to tell you. But I didn't. I just listened, sipped my coffee, and let the news wash over me. I felt something I hadn't in a long time. Peace. I remembered all the nights I had cried over Lena, all the endless guilt and self-blame. Now I realized none of that mattered anymore. She was learning lessons the hard way. Not my problem, I whispered, but my voice carried relief. She had made her choices. He had shown his true nature. Life was correcting itself. I didn't have to intervene. A few weeks later, Noah called. Did you hear about Marcus and Lena? I said calmly, yes. He laughed. Can you believe it? All that charm and confidence gone. I whispered. I saw it coming. Noah chuckled. Man, you're too calm about this. I said, I don't need to be angry. Karma does the work. I hung up feeling serene, watching the city move outside my window. I passed by the park one afternoon, where people had seen them arguing months ago. It was empty now. I smiled faintly. Not cruelly, not triumphantly, just gently. I whispered, life has a way of balancing itself. I realized I no longer waited for Lena to call, no longer thought about revenge, no longer blamed myself. I was free, fully awake, and present. Sipping my coffee, I whispered once more, softly this time, she's learning. He's showing his true colors. And I finally feel peace. For the first time in years, I didn't ache. I didn't long. I didn't wait. I simply let the world unfold, watched it, and allowed myself to breathe. Karma had knocked first, and I was quietly grateful. The knock at my door startled me. I wasn't expecting anyone. Ethan, it's me, a shaky voice said. I opened the door and froze. Lena stood there, thin, pale, eyes red from crying. Her hair was messy, clothes wrinkled. I whispered, Lena. She collapsed slightly against the frame. Can I come in? I stepped aside wordlessly, feeling something shift inside me. This wasn't the woman who left. She sank into the couch and wrapped her arms around herself. I don't know where to start, she whispered. I sat across from her, silent. Marcus, he hit me, Ethan. He yelled at me constantly. Controlled everything. My money, my friends, my time, all of it. Her voice cracked. I thought I loved him, but he's a monster. And now I'm in debt, and I don't know how to fix it. I leaned back, listening, my hands gripping the armrests. I'm sorry, I said quietly. She looked at me with tears streaming down her face. I made a mistake. I left you for him. I didn't see it then, but you were the only man who ever loved me. The only one who cared about me truly. Her voice was trembling. I know I hurt you. I know I ruined everything. I stayed silent, watching her. Part of me wanted to reach out. Part of me wanted to pull away. Why now? I whispered. Why come back? She hung her head. Because I'm broken, and I finally see what I had. You were always there. You never abandoned me. You loved me when I didn't deserve it. Her hands shook. I was so blind. She wiped her tears roughly. I thought he was better. He seemed stronger, smarter, richer. I wanted that. I wanted to feel alive. She shuddered. But he crushed me. And now I have nothing. Her eyes pleaded. Ethan, can we start over? I felt my chest tighten. I wanted to, part of me screamed it, but I wasn't the same man who begged her to stay. I leaned forward slightly. Lena, I hear you. I hear everything. She sniffled. I don't expect forgiveness. I had to tell you. I had to say I was wrong. I'm sorry for everything. Please, Ethan, can we try again? Her voice broke completely. I stayed quiet. My mind was racing. Anger. Sadness. Clarity. I realized that I no longer depended on her love to feel whole. She whispered, please. I've learned. I see now that I destroyed the best thing I ever had. Her hands trembled in her lap. I was foolish. Stupid. I raised a hand slightly. Lena, stop. Don't make excuses. I know. I see it. And yes, you made mistakes. But I'm not the same man you left behind. She blinked, confused. You're not. I shook my head slowly. No. I've rebuilt myself. I've healed. And I'm not going back to that man I was before. Her face fell. Then, does that mean, I whispered, I need time to think? She swallowed hard, tears welling again. Time. I nodded. Time. Because I can't pretend this isn't heavy. What you did, what happened, it changed me. I can't just erase that. She bit her lip, trembling. I understand. I hoped. I looked at her, really looked at her. She was fragile now, broken in ways I had never imagined. But I felt no rush to pull her back in. I felt strength, finally, within myself. Lena, I need time. I need to be sure about anything now. She nodded, words failing her. I'll wait, she whispered. I'll do whatever you need. I exhaled slowly. Inside, I already knew my answer. My heart was no longer hers to command. We sat in silence, the room thick with memories and pain. Her sobs softened, and my breathing steadied. I'll go for now, she said finally. I nodded. Go. Take care of yourself. She stood slowly, shoulders slumped, and left without another word. I closed the door behind her and leaned against it. I whispered, I am done being the man who begged. And for the first time in years, I felt unshakable clarity. I saw her sitting on a bench in the park, head down, hair falling in front of her face. Ethan, she whispered as I approached. I stopped a few feet away. Lena, I said evenly. She reached out, trembling, as if to hold my hand. I stepped back. Don't. Her eyes widened. Please. I shook my head. No. Not this time. Not now. She sat up straighter, searching my face. I came to explain. To make things right. Can we talk? I crossed my arms. Talk. You left me. You broke me. Do you know what that feels like? Her lips trembled. I know I hurt you. I cut her off. You have no idea. I stopped eating. Stopped sleeping. Stopped caring about myself. I thought I'd lost everything. She gasped softly. Ethan, I'm so sorry. I truly am. I whispered. Sorry doesn't fix the months I cried myself to sleep, the nights I replayed every word, every fight, wondering if I ever mattered to you. Her hands shook. I know. I can see now. I was blind. Foolish. I shook my head. Don't. I need you to hear me, not explain yourself. I took a deep breath. I stopped being the man you left. That man is gone, Lena. I rebuilt myself from the ashes. I faced the pain. I learned to breathe again without you. I became someone who respects himself. Her lips quivered. I see that. I see now. I made a terrible mistake. I nodded slowly. Yes, you did. And I forgive you, but I can't go back. Not ever. Tears streamed down her face. Ethan, please. I can't lose you again. I see now I need you. I looked at her, truly looked, and saw a woman broken by her choices, desperate and scared. I'm not yours to take back. You walked out, and I suffered. I can forgive, but I can't return to being what I was. She choked on a sob. So, you're really done? I nodded firmly. Yes, I am. The man who begged you to stay. He's gone. I won't be crushed or broken for anyone again. Not for you, not for anyone. She buried her face in her hands. I never wanted to hurt you. I just didn't understand. I whispered. Understanding comes too late sometimes. And this is one of those times. She lifted her tear-stained face. Can't we at least try? Start over. I shook my head. I can't undo the pain you caused. I can't erase the months I felt worthless. I've become someone who won't allow that anymore. I've chosen myself. And I will not let you, or anyone, take that away again. Her shoulders slumped, heavy with regret. I understand, she whispered. I was wrong. I see now. I see everything. I'm so sorry, Ethan. Truly, deeply sorry. I watched her crumble, her sobs shaking her frame. I whispered, I forgive you. But I am done. My heart doesn't bleed anymore for anyone who doesn't deserve it. She nodded weakly, silent now, as if she finally understood. I turned away, feeling the wind on my face, chest lighter than it had been in years. I walked steadily, not backward, not hesitant. Every step was mine. I whispered softly to myself, I choose me. The park stretched around me, open and quiet, full of possibilities. For the first time, I wasn't looking back, wasn't waiting for someone else to validate me. I had awakened, fully alive, and I would never let anyone dim that again. I climbed to the rooftop after work, the city stretching below me like a living painting. The sun was dipping toward the horizon, painting the sky in shades of orange and gold. I let out a slow breath. I survived, I whispered. I really did. The wind brushed my face, and I felt it sweep away the last traces of the past, the hurt, the nights spent broken over Lena. Noah called earlier. Rooftop again? I smiled softly. Yeah, needed the view. He chuckled. You always find yourself up there. I shrugged. It reminds me. I'm alive. That matters more than anything. The city hummed below me. I used to think losing Lena would destroy me forever, I whispered. But it didn't. It made me stronger. Awake. Free. I thought about the months of darkness, the nights I cried on the floor, the silence that had swallowed me whole. I thought I'd never breathe again, I said softly. But I did. I had to. And I kept going. Slowly, painfully, but I did. I closed my eyes and let the wind carry the memories away. The pain was still there, like a shadow, but smaller now, fading. The next morning at work, Maya came by my desk. Hey, she said quietly, her smile warm. I looked up and felt a strange comfort, like sunshine through a cloud. Hey, I replied. She leaned on the edge of my desk. You're different. I see it. I nodded. Yeah, I am. She laughed softly. Stronger. Calmer. You're awake, I think. I whispered. I feel it too. We worked together quietly for a while, exchanging small smiles and subtle glances. Nothing rushed. Nothing forced. I realized I could let someone in again without losing myself. Maya's presence felt safe, grounding, like a tether to the world I had reclaimed. Lunch later, she asked. I smiled. Sure. No hurry. It felt normal. Peaceful. A far cry from the chaos that used to define my days. I remembered the rooftop, the wind, the sunsets. I told her about it once. I come here to breathe, I said softly. She nodded. I can see why. I smiled faintly. It reminds me that the past doesn't own me anymore. I do. She looked at me with something gentle in her eyes. I whispered, and that feels good. By evening, I returned to the rooftop alone. The sun was melting into the horizon. I leaned against the railing, watching shadows stretch across the buildings. I made it through, I whispered. I'm alive. Not just surviving, but really alive. The city lights blinked on below me. I've faced the worst. I've endured betrayal, loss, pain, and I'm still standing. I thought about Lena, about Marcus, About every night I felt hollow and lost. I forgive myself, I whispered. I forgive the past, and I won't let it define me. The wind carried my words across the rooftops, and for the first time, they felt light, unburdened. I smiled. I've learned that my life, my happiness, belongs to me. The sun finally dipped below the skyline, leaving a golden glow. I stood there, shoulders relaxed, chest open. Maya's words echoed in my mind. Stronger, calmer, awake. I let the warmth of the sunset fill me. No more waiting. No more hurting. No more looking back, I whispered. I'm ready. I'm ready for everything ahead. I breathed deeply, slow and steady, feeling the air fill my lungs, feeling my heart beat strong. The city, the sky, the wind, they were mine as much as I was mine. I whispered, my future finally belongs to me. And for the first time in years, I truly believed it. I was free, alive, whole, and nothing, not pain, not loss, not regret, could take that away.